This is the Unsweetened Truth with Kristen and Pucci, where we talk about everything but don't sugarcoat anything. Welcome back to the Unsweetened Truth Pod with Kristen and Pucci. Today is going to be an interesting episode. I feel like I'm going to get a little heated about it. I feel like I'm going to get a little passionate about it just because I care. Okay? I'm Italian. We care. And when we're passionate and when we're yelling, it's because we love you. So that's what I feel like is going to happen. So I'm not yelling at you. I just love you. And I'm passionate. Okay? So this topic today is just going to be from my experience of working with some other women in business. I've had my fair share of working with men, working with women. We just, had a couple client meetings, and one was with, I was just explaining that when we first started our business, or when I first started the business, it's always we. It's so funny. I did it. Nobody else in my company was sitting in the rooms with me, but I started the business by myself. Now it's a we. But so when I first started the company, we were in a male-dominated industry. We literally only worked with men. Like all of our clientele was men. And now we're shooting about 50-50, male, female, different age ranges, whatever. And it's great. And I just keep noticing the same consistent theme with women over and over and over and over and over again. And we're so scared to not be liked. We're so scared to not be liked. We're so scared to not be accepted. We're so scared to not be liked. And it's so funny because this has come up in I run a group, women's group, like a professional group. And I'll name drop it, The Emerging Den. It's so cute. We love it. But it even came up in that group. Everybody is just so worried about not being liked. And I even have that as well. I'd say that I have it less than probably the majority of female population, but life has just beat the living daylights out of me and just made me not care, right? But it's not even that I don't care. And I think that's what we have to get into is like what we were talking about in the meeting was, well, I don't care if anybody likes me. I don't care if anybody, no. And I listened to, and this is, again, it's just all circling around. So clearly we need to talk about this. I also listened to a podcast the other day that was incredible. I want to say his name's, it's Leo Skeppy or Leo Skepsy or something. I don't remember exactly his name, but he is just incredible. I love listening to his stuff. He's just great. Boundaries, tells you how it is. Love that type of guy. But so what we were talking, so the reason why I want to talk about all of this is I just feel like women in business hold ourselves back. We ourselves hold ourselves back. And I see so many of friends, subcontractors, clients, they say things and do things that's just like, makes me want to shake you. Whether it's just like previous beliefs that you have of yourself, not charging somebody full price because you need to get the contract. I mean, like there's so many things that we do that are directly impacting how successful you are in business. So we're going to unpack some of those today in no rhyme or reason or no order. But it's just going to be kind of like, hey, you want to be a boss business lady. And I'm going to teach you a few ways how today. So without further ado, here we go. Let's unpack just again, because it's been literally swarming and circling around my head for the last however many months. Not being liked by people, okay? When you are starting a business and you are a female, we're just going to talk about females in business right now. That's it. Guys, if you take anything from this, great. You can keep listening. But ladies, you either need to sell a cheap product to a ton of people, or sell an expensive product to a couple people. Or in another term, you need to sell a lot to a lot of poor people, or you need to sell a few things to a lot of rich people. I didn't make the rules. It's just the way that it works. Okay? So you need to pick your group. You need to pick, I'm sorry, Carol. You need to pick your group. You either need to pick cheap products, expensive products. You need to do I want to sell to rich people? Do you want to sell to poor people? And when I say poor people, I'm not saying that in a way that should be offensive, which is actually something we're going to get to next about being offended, right? We're going to talk about being offended. But you either need to talk general population of people and their income levels, I'm not an economist, or people who are above average in their income levels and target them. We have decided as a company that we like this group. We like the group that makes more money. They are very career-oriented. They appreciate value. They appreciate certain things. We have a niche group that we like to work with. A lot of people like to hang out here. There's no issue with either. You're just going to get pros and cons of dealing with both types. This one's not better than this one by any means. It's just better than what it is for you. Here's the problem that women are doing. They want to be here, but they discount it and attract these people. Okay? So now who are you selling to? Who are you selling to? It is not bad. It is not wrong. It is not unladylike. It is not, I don't even know. You need to get it out of your head that you don't deserve to be successful, and you don't deserve to make a ton of money, and you don't deserve all the gifts and blessings that could come your way. You need to get that crap out of your head if you want to be successful. Get it out of your head. This wounded, hurt woman, you need to heal her if you want to be successful. That would be a great beginning part of a reel, Gene, that part that I just said right there. You need to heal her, because if not, every single thing you do, experience, hear is going to be filtered through that hurt woman. Okay? Here's what I mean. If you have a thing in your life, you're fearful of being rejected. Let me tell you how that is going to manifest in your business. I am scared of being rejected. Remy, you little. So you're scared of being rejected. Here's how it's going to manifest in your business, okay? Your pricing. You're going to price something. You're going to send a proposal to a client. Oh, am I charging too much? Is it going to cost too much? Are they not going to sign it? Who cares? Who cares? If you literally discount yourself at 50% off for everyone, good. They'll eat your scraps. That's good. This person wants to pay for 50% of you. Are you kidding me? No. But I just don't want them. I need the business. I need the proposal. I need the client. Well, then figure out how to make your business a little bit more sustainable. Figure that out. Do not make decisions based off of not wanting to be rejected. Knock it off. Because then you'll be like, well, this just happened the other day. I will tell you exactly what would happen if I had that fear of rejection. Do I like rejection? No, nobody likes rejection, but it doesn't hold me hostage. You need to make sure it doesn't hold you hostage. I have an exact example the other day of when I had a fear of rejection, how I would have handled it, and now I handle it now. We had a client that we were ghostwriting for. Sent him a proposal. Actually, that's not even true. He reached out to us, okay? He reached out to us. I'm interested in your services. I get on a call with him, yada, yada, yada. Here's the price. Here's the price. Here's the contract. Here's whatever. He said, yep, let me take some time. I'll look through it. Great. This person asked if he could have our services for $750 a month. I said, no. There's no way that I could make my package fit $750 a month. Sorry. I said, nope, the cheapest I'll do is X. I don't even think about it. I don't even care. Guess what? Way back when, I would have, oh my gosh, I need this client. Could I figure out how to do that? Gina, I'd be calling Gina. Gina, is there a way that we could, no. Are you kidding me? No. There is no way I will make money. And you know what I've also learned too? That client is going to be a pain in the ass. They're going to be a pain in the ass. He could just be a little negotiator, which is fine. I've known this guy for a while. I like him. I think he's good. But he could be a little bit of a pain in the ass. If he's going to be like questioning the pricing, he's not a red flag yet. It's like a pink flag. He's negotiating pricing. Is that just because like you're like control, micromanager-y, you just, you're really stingy with money? You're not going to be our type of client. But he hasn't really hit that bucket for me yet. But he could if he keeps trying to negotiate with me. But like my prices aren't negotiable. My value is not negotiable. What we bring to the table is not negotiable. Of course you can ask questions. Of course you can say this, and of course, but you know what you learned in negotiation, guys? This is what all the ladies need to learn about negotiation. You hold the power if you're the one willing to walk away. You hold the power if you're the one willing to walk away. I am not going to do those services for $750 a month. And I'm okay with it. At a time, I did accept it. And I accepted that client. And guess what? They were the biggest pain in the butt client that there was. Because the cheap clients have so many problems, so many issues, and so many problems. And that's what you're doing. You're literally signing yourself up for people that don't value you fully. Now, if your pricing is whack, we should look at that separately. But like, don't discount yourself. I see all of these female companies, they're running sales, they're oh, 50% off, do this and buy one of these and get one of that and do it. Is that the clientele that you want to be working with? The people that need a sale? I don't. From my recollection, I don't think we've ever put our services on sale. I don't think that we have. Do I have strategic pricing? Will I bump a little bit off to get a certain type of client? Sure. Am I publicly doing that? Absolutely not. We don't discount our pricing. We don't run sales. Even when we've been like a little financially squeezed, I'm not running sales. I'm not, because this is what our value is and this is what it's worth. I'm not going to discount myself to attract a crappy client just to make that money. There was a time I did that. Don't do it. Stop doing it to yourself. No. That's my soapbox of the day. But you can't be doing that. You can't be doing that. Let's go back to the unlikable thing, because I think that's where we started and somehow I got down that rabbit hole. We're so worried about not being liked. And it was so funny because on Leo's podcast, I literally just had this conversation with my group. So it's so funny. So I'm going to talk about it, of what I talked about in my group. And then I'm also going to tell a little bit about from like his past podcast. And I just thought it was really powerful and we were saying the same thing. So I'm just going to say it now. From a primal standpoint, and this is what we talked about in my group. It was very funny. Like from a very primal standpoint, of course you want to be liked. You have to be liked. To be able to survive, you have to be liked. Like back when we lived in like little tribes and different little areas, whatever, if you were rolling out on your own, it was dangerous for you to be by yourself. Like you'd want to either be taken in by somebody else's group or a tribe or a city or whatever it was, and you want to be taken in. So you have to be liked. You want people to like you because then they're going to keep you. They're going to take care of you, whatever you need to be liked. Same thing when you're a little kid. You're a little kid. If you act well and you do good things or whatever, you'll get special treatment, right? So we've adapted from a primal standpoint. We want to be liked and we need to be liked. Now, when all of our needs are being met, we still are taking that same type of mindset into it. And I want to just tell everybody here that's so worried about being liked, I really need you to like sit with yourself about why you're so worried about not being liked and by who. And a couple things that I like to think about is, do they even like themselves? One. Do you not trust yourself enough to have good judgment? And what does really even being liked by somebody, why are you putting so much value in that, right? Like if you like something, Leo had a good example that like, if you like something, trust that you like it. And just trust that you do. And that's what you like. You have a brain, you have eyeballs, you have all that, you like it. Now, where I think people just get hung up is that the not being liked is so uncomfortable. And like, why is that so uncomfortable? It's this rejection or this abandonment or this whatever. And it's like, if you behave and act in a way that is not you, and then those people like that version, that's not going to make you feel any better. Like, do you hear me when I say that? If you're acting fake and they only like that fake version of you, that's not going to make you feel better. So why don't you, it's not like there's anybody on this planet, which is so beautiful about being a human, right? It's so beautiful about being human is everybody has their own likes, their wants, their preferences and whatever. There's other people out there that like what you like. Even if it's something weird, they like what you like. There's people out there that are dying to meet you. There's people out there that are looking for somebody exactly like you. But if you never show exactly who you are, they're never going to find you. And I even have to, guys, I have to tell you, I even have to take this own, like, I'm going to have to eat my own words right now, because there's times on social media that I definitely water myself down. I have heard for my life, I'm too much, I'm this, I'm that, I da-da-da-da-da-da. If I was really my full-fledged self, this is a lie that I tell myself. If I was really my full-fledged self on social media, people would be like, oh my gosh. But then again, when I am my full-fledged self, and then people love that, then it makes me feel so much better. Makes me feel accepted and loved and cared for. So we got to do that. We got to do that. So we got to be ourselves, and we got to not discount ourselves. And we need to make sure that we are searching for the right types of clients and the right types of people. I think pricing for women specifically, what you price your services as is directly correlated to your self-worth. Let me say that again. What you set your pricing as is directly related to your self-worth. Okay? And I think being a business owner as a female is a very spiritual experience. And what I've seen too many times with women is they discount their pricing because they are discounting themselves. And they don't feel that if they charged what they should charge or want to charge, whatever. And let me tell you what's going to happen really quick. Unless you're already currently here, then you're going to be like, yep, that's happening to me. You're going to resent your clients. You're going to resent your clients because you're going to charge way less than you should. You're going to do way too much work for what you're charging, and you're going to resent your clients. And then you're going to resent your business. And the very thing that was supposed to bring you so much happiness and joy and love, you're going to hate it. You're not going to want to do it anymore. Don't do that. Don't do that. Just try it. Just be brave. Be full price for exactly what you think your services and your value is. And if you don't know that, figure it out. Do some research. Figure out what's in the marketplace. Ask your favorite clients why they like to work with you. Build up your confidence. Build up that value. Build up that self-worth. Because, yeah, you could do something that everybody else is doing, but nobody else is doing it the way that you do it. And that's what's so beautiful about business, is that you are completely different than anybody else that's offering your services. And I know I made a joke earlier, and it may or may not get cut out. We'll see what Carolyn's feeling like that day. But when I was joking about with clients that they knock off our services and then they whatever, it does happen. It's happened since I've started my business. And what I would say is, and if any of those people happen to listen to our podcast, I would just say you need to be authentic and genuine and vulnerable and unique, be unique. If you want to take the services that we're offering because you see that they work, okay, great, but make them your own, make them your own and, put your own spin on it, right? Every idea comes from somewhere. Rarely is there, an idea that just came out of nowhere and then they coined it and then they turned it into whatever. Somebody either stealing usually somebody else's idea or they're coming up with their own. But my best advice would just be use it as inspiration, but then come up with your own and be your own, your own thing. And I would say too, guys, off of that, AI is wonderful. AI is helpful. But let's just pretend one day AI just went away. It just went away. Be careful in having it run you and be who you are and your identity and this wisdom and these things that you don't actually have. That can be very, very, very dangerous. And so definitely experience is what's going to make you great. So don't just rely on what AI is doing or what ChatGPT is doing or what other people are doing. Use what they're doing as inspiration. Go, wow, I see what you're doing. I'm inspired by you. Don't copy them and then call them your competitor. No, I'm inspired by you. And now I want to make it my own. I feel like I could be really good at that. For example, here's something that I will copy in a sense from somebody else. I just literally saw, it's so funny. Maybe we don't want to put this on the podcast because then I'm going to tell you all about my secret idea. But I was on TikTok last night and there was a woman that started a side hustle. She was a stay-at-home mom. She started a side hustle of cleaning car seats. And something in my body was just like, you could do that. Am I going to be the one that's cleaning the car seats? Absolutely not. But do I see such a need and do I see the direct link on how I could do this? Sure. So am I copying her idea of cleaning car seats? Absolutely. I'm copying it. I'm going to name it my own thing. I'm going to repackage it, reservice, target a specific area, target a new area. And would that be cool? Absolutely. So now I'm considering it. I would just say I have never gained more confidence than I have in myself and in my business than doing what I know is right, and then standing up for it. There had been times in the past, and I told this story yesterday to a client. There were times in the past in my business that I was so scared of being rejected, or they didn't like my idea, they'd cancel our contract. Like, it literally haunted me. It just had so much control. It had this grip on me of like, if you tell someone they're wrong or that they don't want to do it or whatever, they will cancel the contract. And it's just like, that was from somewhere else. That wasn't from business. That was from me being my true self and telling people no in my life, and how they had then used that against me. That didn't come from business per se. But again, my point in the beginning, if you don't heal yourself from things that you've experienced prior, it's going to carry right into your business. So for me, in the past, when a client would say, well, I want to do this, and it would be related to what we specialized in. And I in the past would go, oh, if I tell them that, I know that that's not what they're supposed to be doing, but if I tell them that that's not what they're supposed to be doing, then they might get upset with me. And, then I might be then they might think that, I'm better than them. And like all that head trash just starts coming in. No, now there is not a second that I don't go, no, I would not recommend doing that. This is what I would do instead. You could try to go that route. Here's probably how it's going to happen and whatever. And it really took me 5 years in business to like sit and go, that's what people are hiring us for. They are hiring us to have those hard conversations, to have those hard opinions, to have that judgment, to have that discernment. That is what they are hiring us for. Anybody can be a yes man. Anybody can be a people pleaser. The people with money and the people with businesses and the people that are like very successful in their career. We just did a whole analysis of this, is like, people that are very successful in their career, what are they looking for? What do they want, right? And something that they want is they want the decision making to just be taken away. They want things to just poof, handle it, no problems, bring me solutions, solve it. So, we just sat and we thought about that and did that more. And it's just like, how can you be that, right? But I think at the end of the day, back to that pricing model, you just need to decide who you want to work with, who do you want to work for, and why do you want to work with them? And it's going to be uncomfortable the first couple of times you do it. You're probably going to get rejected. People still tell me all the time, this is too expensive. Your prices are too expensive. Think about, let's unpack that. Instead of reacting to that, instead of reacting to the rejection, think about what that person's saying to you. Your prices are too expensive. Did they set the pricing for the market? Do they know what the pricing even is for the market? Do they know what the going rate is for these services? It's too expensive compared to what? Think about it logically. Don't react emotionally. Women in business, you react emotionally all the time. Knock it off. It's going to affect your business and it's going to prevent you from being successful. Don't always react emotionally. Think logically. This person's rejecting me and telling me that my services are too expensive for them. They are too expensive for them. They are out of their budget. They don't align with their values. Don't try to convince them. Just go, okay. There was this big time. I remember this was probably one of the first times I had done this. It was probably at least 2-3 years ago now that I just really stood up for our services and for myself. And it was a big client and I really, really wanted the client. And because of that, I even discounted it just a little bit because I saw the opportunity for like future work. And it was a website and he had reached out to us and we had, got on a phone call and talked about it. And I gave him a very good deal on this website because I saw the opportunity to do more, right? So if I'm going to make that behavior, I can't resent them and then be upset when they're a pain in the ass client because of the behavior that I did. But it was a strategic move. Now, in the email, I remember receiving it. He goes, this is too expensive. This website's too expensive. It's too much. And I remember thinking to myself, this guy makes a lot of money, right? This guy makes a lot of money. Like this isn't a budget thing to him. At that point, it was value. He doesn't value a good website or a good brand enough to spend the money on it. Okay. You aren't my type. You aren't the type of client that I want to be working with. And that's okay. You don't need to then conform yourself and be like, okay, well, I gave you a quote for, just to throw numbers out, I give you a quote for $5,000. I could drop it to $3,500. Let me figure out how I could fit their budget. Absolutely not. That is what a lot of you women are doing. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I can refer you to somebody that can better align with your budget. They don't value it enough. There's people that would pay 10 times that because they value what you do and they value what you do, or they value how you do it. But if you continue to play in this game of discounting yourself to align with clients that you aren't even really aligned with. Either you're so bad at setting your pricing. Like, this is what you're telling yourself. I'm so bad at setting my pricing that I constantly have to change my pricing to align with my clientele. Are you really that bad at setting your pricing? You could be. Or are you just not calling it fast, calling it hard, and going, this is the type of clientele that I want to work with. This is what it costs. This is my value. This is what I'm going to do. Call it fast, call it hard, and then back it up. So, ladies, it's okay to upset somebody in business, but we need to stop abandoning ourselves. We need to stop abandoning ourselves in business. We need to stop abandoning. You have a brain, you have eyes, you are smart. If you are insecure about what you're doing, get more confident in it. Get more confidence. You can call it fast. You can call it hard. When you get the $750 email or you get the, oh, this is too expensive email, you can go, okay, for you. Other people pay that. Must not be valuable enough to you. That's okay. The problem that I solve must not be big enough for you yet to want to pay that. It may never be, or it just isn't yet. That's how you need to think about it. Stop making it, stop internalizing it, stop making it emotional, stop making it as rejection of you. It's not rejection of you. There's so much into how people make decisions and why they make decisions. So I hope that it's helpful. I hope that gave people some fire under their booties to get rolling, to be themselves fully in their businesses, to set their pricing for the way that they want to show up the way that they want to acquire and go after the types of clientele that they want to. You can do it. Kudos to you for starting this business. It is not easy. Business ownership is not easy. As a female, part of it's going to be a part of your identity. I get it. It is hard. It is hard work. I have done it. I have done it again. I've done it multiple times now. It is hard freaking work. Okay? But you're making it harder than it needs to be. Heal yourself. Figure out who you are. Figure out who you want to work for. And don't apologize for it. Thank you so much for listening to today's podcast. I look forward to talking to you guys soon.